Good morning, everybody. My name is Amanda, and I'm here this morning to share just a simple morning flow for you to practice to get your body warmed up. I'm going to show you a way to start thinking about how to integrate Hatha Yoga and Vinyasa Yoga. So if you're familiar with Vinyasa Yoga, this format will make lots of sense to you. If you're not familiar with Hatha Yoga, I think that this format will make sense to you. So let's go ahead and get started by finding our way onto a mat. If you have some props with you that you want to use, you're welcome to. I've got a triangle here and a cup of coffee. In the morning, I like to begin my practice with alternate nostril breathing. So we'll start with some alternate nostril breathing. You'll take your peace fingers on your dominant hand and crisscross them as you bring them to your third eye. You'll inhale through the right nostril. Exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. 5 more times. Four more. Three more. Two more. Last one. From there, you should be able to breathe through both nostrils fairly easily. Take care that you're not pulling the shoulders up when you inhale. Right, so you want to keep the shoulders down, and we want to inhale into the belly. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last breath. Since you're seated, you can begin just by circling your body. This is called a Sufi roll. This helps you wake up your hips and your low back. And switch directions. And come back through to center. Turn to the right, always twisting to the right first. It's better for your digestive system. And twisting to the left. Same thing. 3 to 5 breaths. Lateral stretch to the right. Actively reaching. And lateral stretch to the left. Actively reaching. From there, tuck our feet underneath us. Come onto our toes to wake up our feet. You can keep the knees lifted, or you can set the knees down for 3 breaths. Those are peacocks. Last breath. And then you'll plant your hands on the ground. And as you straighten your legs, you might keep the knees bent to wake up the hamstrings. So I'm coming into soft bend in the knees, standing forward fold. As I come up to standing, I'm going to lift halfway and begin to lift with pelvic floor for 3 breaths. there, I like to come up with a flat back, and on the way up I inhale. And exhale, bringing the hands to prayer. So I'm in the starting position for what would be a sun salutation. We'll go over this quickly, and then we'll move into how the hatha sequencing works. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. You'll notice I'm halfway on my mat. I wanted to show you how to work halfway through the mat, giving yourself a little change in perspective. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, extend your hands out toward the top of the mat. Move your feet toward the back of the mat. So you're not jumping back or stepping back. You're just moving yourself in half. Take 3 breaths in down dog. Shift into a high plank. This means move your feet back or your hands forward as needed. Take 3 breaths there. And since it's first thing in the morning, we're going to do a modified practice. I'm going to set the knees down and ease myself down onto my tummy. Baby cobra, simple. Just lifting without pushing into the hands on the inhale. And exhale, lowering. Find your way back into down dog. You can peel up or press up. And we're going to walk our hands and our feet back toward the middle of the mat. It's pretty easy, right? Inhale, lift halfway. Remember, you're lifting with your pelvic floor and not your low back. And exhale, bring it up to standing. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. Stretch up, extend the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Walk your hands up, walk your feet back. There's that inverted V shape. Take 3 breaths. 2 more. Last breath. Inhale into a high plank, again extending the feet or the hands as needed. Want to hold for 3 breaths. We're starting to turn on the core. So this is a great opportunity to look at your hands and make sure that your hands are fanning out nice and wide. That the circular part of your palm is anchoring down to the mat. You might even claw the fingertips into the mat. We'll call that 3 breaths. As I lower the knees down, I'm going to lower down. And I'm going to move into a little bigger cobra variation. So I'm going to move my fingers back. I'm going to roll my shoulders back. I don't want my shoulders up by my ears, so I have to keep my elbows squeezed into my sides, and that's going to help me squeeze my back. That's your full cobra. Exhale, lower. Instead of stretching up and back into a down dog, let's move the knees in and take a child's pose. Reach the arms out away from you. Put some length in your arms. 3 breaths here. And walk your hands in. Shift forward into tabletop. Keep the toes curled under the feet and ripple through some cat and cow. So on the exhale, arch the spine. And on the inhale, sink the belly. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, flat into a tabletop position. Extend your left leg out, extend your right arm out, and lift them both. More core work for 3 breaths. 2, 1. Plant your hand, plant your knee. Extend your other leg out. Extend your left hand out. Hold for 3 breaths. plant your hand, plant your knee. Side plank modified. So I'm going to keep my right knee down as I kick my left leg open. Turn my hips and my chest open. I extend my arm. My core is engaged and lifted. If I want to make this more challenging, I'll take my foot out and come into a full side plank for 3 breaths. Set my knee down. Whew. You guys see me shaking there? That's a tough one. And then we'll do the same thing. I'll keep my left knee down, kick my leg open, turn my chest open, extend my arm. Maybe I extend my leg for 3 breaths. I'll set my knee down, and then I'll stretch up and back into that inverted V shape that we all know as down dog. I just snuck in some core work there for you for 3 more breaths. So your feet and your hands walk toward one another and you find the middle of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Again, remember you're lifting with the pelvic floor and not the small part of your back. So imagine there was a string on the back of your head pulling you up. On the exhale, you're all the way up. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. Reach up, stretch up, look up. Exhale, bring the hands to prayer. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to prayer. Step your left foot back. Turn your body open. Extend your arms out. And identify your top leg. In this case, I'm tapping my right leg. Turn those toes toward the top line of the mat. It's your top. And on the inhale, you're going to wiggle your fingers past your toes. And on the exhale, you're going to wiggle your fingers the other way. So we just want to feel what's happening in the waist here. I like to do this 3 times. And then we're going to move into a triangle. Now I can open my feet wider here and get closer to my foot if I want. I can release my ear to my shoulder. I just don't want to be collapsing into the leg. I want the core to stay engaged here. What I need to encourage that is to take your hand off of the leg for 3, 2, 1 brings you up. Toes point forward. Toes can actually turn in slightly here. Arms come out, inhale. Exhale, your toes on the other foot turn the other way. Your heels are in alignment and the back toes can be turned in slightly. Inhale, wiggle. Exhale, reach. Inhale. Exhale, last time, inhale. Exhale, triangle. Again, I'm not collapsing. I'm staying engaged through the core here. For 3, 2, 1 lifts me up. Arms are getting tired. Arms stay extended. These toes turn that way. These toes turn that way. I'm facing the top of the mat. Arms reach out on the inhale, and on the exhale, I come forward into pyramid. Hands bowing down toward the floor, head bowing down toward the knee for 3 breaths. 2 more. Last breath. Hands come out, pelvic floor engages, and I use the core to lift me up. Toes turn forward, and I just keep on pivoting. Inhale. Exhale, I bow forward. Hands released either side of the foot for pyramid. 3 more breaths. So arms come out, back of head lifts, core turns on, and I'm upright again. Toes turn forward. Feet open wider. Arms open wider. Top foot turns open. Leg bends. Warrior two. My knee wants to collapse in here. I need to squeeze it open for 3 breaths. My gaze can be directed past the longest finger on my top hand for 2 more breaths. Last breath. Legs straighten, toes turn forward. I'm just going from side to side. This is Hatha yoga sequencing. Very simple, easy to keep up with. Gives you a nice mirror from your left side to your right side. So I do the same thing. Bend into the top leg. I'm going to make sure that the knees are not buckling in. Shoulders and hips are vertically aligned. And my gaze is past my longest finger for 3 breaths. 2 more. 1 more. Arms release, toes turn forward. Same thing, these toes turn that way. As I drop into warrior two, I'm going to reach forward, bring the hand down to the ground or a prop. Extended side angle for 3 breaths. This arm serves as a windmill to lift me up. Use my core. Legs straighten, toes turn forward, and I prepare to do the same thing on the other side. Leg bends. This is warrior two. Extended side angle can be modified by bringing an elbow to the thigh if your hand doesn't reach down to the ground. The arm can also come straight overhead or reach away from you. I'm just going straight up here. And I'm going to try to recreate the same thing on this side. My butt wants to careen out behind me. I need to push my hips through for 3 breaths. Top arm, range of motion, and core strength lifts me up. Good. From there I can just turn and step back into my down dog. And I've just changed from one side of the mat to the other, so that's fun. I'm going to set my knees down, curl my toes under my feet, and drop a fist of space between my knees as I prepare for Ustrasana. So my hands will come to the small part of my back. As I squeeze my elbow points together, and I consciously squeeze my butt muscles as I push my hips forward, and I stretch back into my camel. Over time, your hands might find their way to your heels. Just make sure that you're not compressing into your low back. Take 3 breaths here. After your camel, you can take a child's pose. I'll show you embryo pose. This is where you let the elbows rest on the mat and your hands back by your feet. From embryo pose, just filled my coffee, hang on a second. From embryo pose, we'll kick our legs out to in front of us. And we'll do some core work. So, boat pose, it might seem super basic, but it's a great, effective core strengthening pose. So for your first foray into boat, you want to hold behind the knees and make the spine really long so the core is engaged. If that's going well, then you lift your feet. If that's going well, then you release your hands. Anything beyond that is just a lot harder. So you want to feel the core working here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come into butterfly. Flow to your knees. This is a recovery. Take 3 breaths. Squeeze the legs together. We'll do some boat twists. Prop's really nice for boat twists. This is going to get your external oblique. So you're going to take the prop and tap from side to side. Tap, 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 tap. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet together, knees apart, butterfly for recovery. Good, last set of boat, I'll let you pick if you want to hold for boat and traditional boat or extended boat. I'm going to do more taps. Tap, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Butterfly for recovery. Now, yoga squat's kind of important. Any way that you can squat is great. So try squatting, and if you have a full yoga squat, take that now. This is where our feet are on the ground and our elbows are inside of our knees. You might play with keeping the back of the knees and the elbows connected and leaning forward and contemplating lifting one foot off the ground, the other, and maybe both. Toying with your crow pose. Crow pose can also be done with the knees on the back of the upper arms. Lifting one foot, the other, or both. Arm balances are tough. If you don't practice them regularly, you won't be able to do them. So just be patient with yourself when it comes to arm balances. Here's a trick for crow pose. If you have a block, you can place it in front of your face. So if you feel like you're going to fall, you can just set your face down on the block. You practice lifting your feet up and maybe getting your head up and off the block. So those are all really great options. After a little bit of arm balance play, I'd like for us to pop up to standing and work on some standing balance poses. So imagine that you just did a vinyasa. You're going to step your feet apart. Take your arms out. See if you can pop up onto one leg. And then set that foot down. Keep the arms out. They're going to help you counterbalance. See if you can pop up onto the other leg. And just play with going back and forth. How long can you keep that leg in the air, and can you feel your glute medius muscle firing here? If you turn the toes in and down, you're definitely going to feel it. And then from there, baby tree, handsome prayer, bigger tree. Foot can be anywhere above or below the knee. Just make sure that you're not pressing directly into the knee for 3 breaths. Squeeze the knee forward, step the leg open. Baby tree with balance on the other side. Toe can be at the ankle, the calf, or the inner thigh, anywhere above or below the knee. And if you want to challenge yourself, you can extend your branches upward for 3 breaths. from there and release the hands. And we'll play with the standing quad stretch and maybe a cosmic dancer. So I'm going to bend at the leg, try to pull the heel into the glute. This might be as far as you go today. If things are going well there, you can grab for the inside of the ankle, kick the leg back, try to come into cosmic dancer. Same thing other side. Trying to stretch the quad. Or maybe going for the standing, balancing back bend. The cosmic dancer is very hard. After that, you can inhale the arms up, exhale, fold forward. Lower your bottoms down to the mat. Take a couple more twists here. Your back might be ready to release. And if there's any one last thing that you'd like to do, you're welcome to do that now. I'm going to stand up and just come over here and explain to you. I offer this. So yoga is a personal practice, and whatever I offer you, these are just ideas. These are things that have worked for me. These are things that I've been trained in. But if you're not practicing the things that you really like doing your yoga practice, now is a great time to kind of get to know those poses and treat them like your favorite friends and family members. And you can do the same with the challenging poses. So, otherwise, if you want to do something, work on your own now, you may, or lay down and we'll take a final rest. Once you're laying down, close your eyes and take 3 slow, deep breaths. When you're ready, you can begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Stretch in any way that feels good to you. Roll over onto your side and make your way up to a comfortable final seated position. You're welcome to join me bringing your hands into prayer. We close our practice with the word namaste, understanding that it is an acknowledgement of the light and potential in all of us. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this brief practice this morning. Continue to keep up with me, follow along. I have lots more fun things planned for us moving forward. I also have an Instagram channel as well as a yoga studio that I work out of. And I just planned my first retreat. So we have a retreat coming up if you have an interest in that. I work with people privately and also remotely via FaceTime, Zoom, and WebEx. So I hope that you guys all have a beautiful day. Remember to just do one thing from your yoga practice every day and you're going to feel better. If it's breathing or a specific pose or even just intention setting. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.